Hi guys. So this time I'm back with a Squier Telecaster, and from what I can find on this on the internet, this is supposed to be a limited edition or special edition Telecaster from around 2004, I believe. It's made in Indonesia, and I believe that it's a special chrome, black and chrome. I actually don't remember. Let me just take a look here. Yeah, Squier black and chrome, and obviously the pickguard or scratch plate is missing, but it's supposed to be chrome. That's why it's called the black and chrome. But the scratch plate is missing. But this is not my own guitar. This is a guitar that one of my friends brought into me, and it needs a little bit of everything. As you can see over here, we have some loose connections over here, and we have to attach the input jacket again and solder it up. You can see it's really dusty, and it needs a proper cleanup and a proper setup. As for the neck here, I haven't been taking a look at the fretboard or the frets themselves. I'll have to do that to be sure that everything is as it should, and yeah. So this is what I'll be working on the next couple of days, I suspect, and I just want to show it to you. And right now I'm just going to cut the video, and I'm going to take the strings off, and we're going to take a look at the neck and get it straight, and then take a look at the frets and see what shape they're in. Overall, they don't really look that bad. I suspect this has not been played that often, but we can still have either some loose frets or some high frets. So I'll just take a look at that, and I'll pop off the strings, guys. So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so I've just taken off the strings, and I've placed my notched straight edge on the fretboard here using the 25.5 inch scale length, and as you can see here very clearly, we have some light coming through, or otherwise we will need to tighten the truss rod to make the neck completely straight. So I just like to do that in order to get an accurate read of the fretboard when I locate high frets. So I just have to tighten the truss rod, and when you go and adjust a truss rod, make sure that you always place yourself right up here at the headstock where the truss rod cavity is located, and make sure that you always remember the saying righty tighty, lefty loosey. So just keep that in mind, and don't ever overturn your truss rod. That can just damage up your neck and cause even further problems. So I just go and adjust the truss rod, and then I'll just come back, and we'll take the fret rocker over the frets to see what shape they're in. So, and after I took off the strings, I just noticed that I have a little bit of fret wear down here on the first 3 or 4 frets, I believe, maybe 5th also. So it would be nice to take those dents out too. So yeah, I'll just cut the video, guys, and I just tighten the truss rod and then I'll be back. Okay, so I have now straightened out the neck. As you can see here, we no longer have any light coming through, so that is just great. Yeah, and that's basically what we want when we're going to check the fretboard and the frets for levelness. Yeah, so let me just get this camera set up here, and I can show you what I'm going to do. So let's just see here. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to take out my fret rocker now, and some of you have seen this before, but essentially a fret working tool which has a laser cut sides, flat ground, and you basically take this and you put it over 3 frets at a time, and then you're going to get a feel or measurement of if any of these frets on the fretboard are high. And I'm just going to place it on the first 3 frets here. And it's actually rocking quite a lot. I just like to check that when I have frets that are rocking as much as this one, it's the second fret that are rocking, because it's the middle fret when you're measuring over the 3 frets here. When I have a fret that's rocking as much as this one, I like to sight up under the fret here to see if it has lifted or popped up because of the fret tang being loose or anything like that. So I just like to go down here and check, and it doesn't seem like it, and none of the other frets are. So this is just a high fret. So I would definitely have to level that, because I can imagine that this is going to cause some buzzing here around the first fret or maybe the second fret too. So we have to take a look at that. Tiny bit of rocking there. Tiny bit of rocking right there. Tiny bit of rocking. I'll just move you guys with me here so you can see what I'm doing. Just have a tiny bit right here. A little on the sides. A little bit here. Yeah. And actually quite a bit here on the 12th fret. I'm just going to look again to see if anything has lifted, and it doesn't look like it. So everything should be fine for that, but I will have to take a look at that, because that is actually rocking quite a bit. And the fret next to it, nothing there, and again here, and this one again is rocking major, and this is good. It doesn't seem like any of the frets are actually lifted up or anything. No. Okay, so this would basically need a fret level, that's for sure. And right now I'm basically just making a little check down here on my notepad on what things I'm going to do to this guitar, or at least let the customer know what this guitar will need in order to play great again. And of course, besides the soldering that I'm going to do here to the output jack and getting the pickups running again, this guitar will also need a fretboard clean, because this fretboard has a lot of dirt and grime on it. If you can just see that right there, just a lot of dust and grime accumulated, all this stuff. So it would need the soldering job and a fretboard clean for sure, but most important of all, it would need a complete setup, meaning that it would need a truss rod adjustment to make sure that the neck is adjusted so that it matches the string tension, and the pickup height would have to be reset or at least done correctly, and of course the bridge, the action height and the intonation, we would have to match the bridge saddles to match the radius of this fretboard. We have 6 each individual adjustable saddles, which is great because we can get that radius of the fretboard just spot on. I'd have to take a look at the knot too to see if these knot slots are too high or too deep. Yeah, maybe if the customer is up to it, it would be nice to give this guitar a fret level and a recrown and a polish. Because I would imagine that he would have experienced some buzz on the first 3 to 5 frets maybe, because of some quite high frets up there. I'm actually just going to check the fretboard radius while we're at it. I suspect that this is either a well, I have these radius gauges right here, as you can see. Really nice tool, makes everything nice and easy. And this is a 9.5 inch radius, so I'm just going to place that on the fret here to take a look. And yes, this is a 9.5 inch radius. I also have a 7.25 here, and this is, yeah, too much. So 9.5 is the fretboard here, and I have a set of these radius gauges, and these are actually understring radius gauges used to set the saddle height of the individual saddles at the bridge to match the radius. So this is just a handy tool or a handy set to have. I have a set of 8 here, ranging from 7.25 all the way up to 20, I believe. So those are just basically very handy to have because it's an accurate read on the fretboard here. I also have a set of these gauges right here, which is a set of 2 with 4 sides, just matching the set of 8 I have down here. So 9.5 here on this side, and as I'm just laying this across here, I can see that, yeah, this is 9.5. So another way to check it. I just like to have the proper tools. So yeah. So right now I would probably just write down some of the frets that was rocking, and I like to do a full fret level if I have more than, let's say, 7 or 9 frets that are actually rocking, just because you can do a spot level if you have maybe 2 or 3 high spots on your fretboard here. But given that this guitar has a little bit of fret wear on the 5 first frets and a little bit down here, it would just be nice to generally just take all of that out. and just recrown the frets, polish them up, and just give them a new life. So I believe that a full fret level is appropriate. Yeah, perhaps I will get going with this right away, or perhaps I'll just finish my list here and do a little bit of the work pro bono, because as I said, it's one of my friends, and if some of my customers keep coming back, then I just like to give them a little extra at certain times. So yeah, we'll have to see about that. I have to let him know what I believe this guitar needs, and he'll have to decide if he wants that. Otherwise, if he can do without the fret level, then I'm just going to give it a complete setup, clean up the fretboard, clean up the guitar, perhaps take a look at the knot, because that was some of the more critical areas. But we'll have to see about that. I have to let him know, and yeah, we'll have to see what he thinks about it. So yeah, this was just a quick little update here from me. I have a couple of other videos coming up soon, guys. I'm working on a lot of different things right now. I have a pedal board that I still need to assemble, solder cables. I have another guitar which I've just fixed a popped up fret, which I uploaded a video about a couple of days ago. Yeah, so basically just a couple of great things to mess around with. So as always, comment, subscribe, like. Requests are very welcome too. If you have any questions, just let me know. And until next time, guys, behave yourselves, and I'll see you soon.